Very heated exchange between Trump, Vance, and Zelenskyy in the Oval Office to the likes that we have never seen before. We'll play some highlights in a moment. But first, I want to applaud President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance for standing up for the American people. Zelenskyy walked into the Oval Office with his arms crossed, ungrateful for what the American people have done for him. And quite frankly, he's acting like a toddler. The man has received almost $200 billion of U.S. tax dollars and is complaining. He does not want to end the war, and he is not in a position to negotiate or behave the way that he is behaving. And I am very grateful that we have a strong president and vice president to call this out and actually broker a peace deal. Because as Trump said, Zelenskyy is gambling with World War III. Watch.
Diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to...
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
That's my vice president.
Let's start from the beginning.
Look, he's like a little child with his arms crossed, like pouting, like he's in trouble.
Has
He's like,
problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean.
Excuse
don't feel
me.
now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Yeah.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position
on
to
this
dictate
question.
that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
good. You will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
no.
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens
war,
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war,
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards.
cards.
But right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think
You're
so?
gambling with World War III.
What do you think
You're
about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you,
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Yeah.
You said thank you once.
A lot of times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
what
of
you're speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
I am so grateful that the president allowed us that insight, because it really does show how complicated this issue is, and the personalities really are getting in the way. And we're talking about lives. We're talking about war. This isn't just a disagreement. You got to get past the hatred you guys have for one another. And it does feel like President Trump is just policing or scolding this little toddler storming into the Oval Office being like, wham. Here's the final clip. You need to watch as well.
Maybe he did. I don't know what happened, but he didn't break it with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy.
Yes.
And
The U.S. has.
I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice
More
thing.
like he wants
I'll be
the deal.
honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
I cannot stress this enough. Zelensky's in there acting like an unappreciative toddler. And without the help of the United States of America, that war would have been over in like 3 days. So Ukraine at this point they're gonna lose the war. They will lose the war without the United States' help. And we want to broker peace. And Putin's at the table ready to broker peace because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only president that could enable this. So 1, thank you for being a strong leader. 2, thank you for showing the American people that insight into how complicated this deal is. And 3, thank you for standing up for us, because we are not going to get walked all over. And we are on the side of peace, because Putin would have never invaded Ukraine if President Biden wasn't up there making all these big, scary threats that he never followed through on. So, Zelenskyy, get a freaking attitude change and work towards saving the lives of your people, towards peace.